Hello and welcome to another episode of the Just Fine podcast. Now, this week's episode is going to be a little bit different than previous weeks. This week, the whole episode is just going to be my whole damn good news with Donald segment. Okay, rather than take a majority of the episode today and talk about my week or shit that annoyed me or shit I found funny or blah 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 or my life, I figured I would just make this entire episode me talking about funny, interesting news articles that have nothing to do with anything political related or anything like that. That way y'all can, for the 3 people who listen to this, y'all can have a little bit of a break from listening to me yammer on about my life. So this is just all about the good news, the weird news, the damn good news that exists this week. So let's start off with a good one. Woman calls off wedding to ghost who got in with a bad crowd. Okay, here we go. A woman who was due to marry a ghost has called the wedding off because of his inconsiderate behavior, which included him partying and taking drugs. Okay, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Amethyst Realm. Fuck. Amethyst Realm. I'm sorry. This woman's actual given name is Amethyst Realm. Anything she does from this point on in this article, I'm not going to blame her. I'm going to blame her parents. If your parents hated you enough to name you Amethyst Realm, then anything weird, fucked up you do is not your fault necessarily. It's your parents' fault. Because if they name you Amethyst with the last name being Realm, you're basically setting up your child to be like a weird hippie weirdo on TikTok. Like those weirdos on TikTok that are like, I'm secretly an alien and I'm trying to, I'm here living among you, but I'm from Pluto and shit. That's what this is breeding. This is what you do to a child if you name them Amethyst. That's such a fucking weird name to name a child. You named it after a rock. You saw your baby and said, you know what? I'm going to name you after a rock. You remind me of a rock. I'm naming you after a rock. Amethyst Realm was due to get married to Ghost Ray, but has called things off, complaining that he kept disappearing. Okay, 2 things. First, Ray? It's a fucking horrible name for a ghost. Ghosts need to have cool names, like Lord Chesterfield or Casper. Not Ray. Ray is like the weird guy at HEB with the mustache who always wears those boat shoes with no socks. That's Ray. If your name is Ray as a human, you die, you become a ghost, change your fucking name, become something else. Get a better name that's more fitting to a ghost, like Casper, Lord Chesterfield, what other? Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Just, there are better names than Ray if you're a ghost. That's where I'll leave it. Also, she complained that he kept disappearing. I'm sorry. That's literally what ghosts do. Isn't that a ghost's MO? They disappear. That's their whole thing. That's their whole vibe. That's what they do. That's what makes them a fucking ghost. That's like getting mad at a cat for meowing. If you get upset, if you're dating a ghost, let's make that a thing. Let's just assume that's a thing. You're dating a ghost and you get mad because he disappears. That's like telling a fish not to swim. That's literally what ghosts do. And who's to say he can control it? Maybe he's a brand new ghost. He doesn't know how to disappear or not disappear, and it just kind of happens. I'm getting stressed out by this. I feel bad laughing at this woman. Not really. I actually don't feel bad. I don't feel that bad. We'll see where it goes. Appearing on This Morning with Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield, Amethyst said, "So now we've called the wedding off. It was going really well until we went on holiday. That was about last May, and he just completely changed." Okay. As Phil struggled to keep a straight face, I'm right there with you, Phil, Holly asked in what way Ray had changed. The former bride-to-be replied, oh my god, I bet this person who wrote this article was like pissing themselves trying to figure how to write this shit. The former bride-to-be replied, I think maybe he fell in with a bad crowd when we were on holiday. He just started becoming really inconsiderate. He'd disappear for long periods of time. Again, that is what ghosts do. Don't complain, because that's literally what ghosts do. That's just what they do. When he did come back, he'd bring other spirits back to the house and they would stay around for days. When Phil asked whether Ray had explained his unusual behavior, Amethyst said, I think he started doing drugs and partying a bit much. He used to come back and these spirits would stay for days at a time. They'd be crashing, banging, and strange noises. Hold on. She said, I think he started doing drugs and partying a bit much. Does this mean that there are ghost drugs? Or do ghosts take real drugs? I'm confused. See, these are the questions these interviewers need to ask. If he did drugs, did he like smoke real weed or snort real cocaine? Or are there ghost strains of weed? Or is there ghost cocaine that are specifically for ghosts? Like do ghosts have everything that we have, but like ghost versions of it? Or they're like ghost melatonin tablets or ghost food? Or can they like interact with normal things? Because then that would just mean she would just be sitting on the couch at whatever hotel they were staying at, look around and just see like floating blunts and like lines of cocaine on the coffee table, and then it just suddenly disappear like a ghost was snorting it. That's a question that needs to be asked to this woman. Amethyst, if you happen to be listening to this, very, very, very unlikely, but if you happen to be listening to this, or if someone reaches out to her, if this becomes like a super successful podcast in the next 30 years, reach out to her and ask, did Ray take ghost cocaine, ghost weed, or did he partake actual human drugs? That's something I desperately need to know. Back in February, Amethyst announced she had found love and was planning on having a baby. What? Did I read that right? Amethyst announced she had found love and was planning on having a baby. She said she met Ray while on holiday in Australia. Oh, he's Australian ghost. That's a little bit nicer. I can understand why she fell for him then. If he's an Australian ghost and has that accent, yeah, I'd fall for him too. Telling a magazine in Australia, one day while I was walking through the bush, enjoying nature, I suddenly felt this incredible energy and I knew a lover had arrived. Or it was a strong wind. I don't understand these people, these weirdos. It literally just could have been a breeze. Then she mistook it for a ghost. It's pretty serious. In fact, we've been thinking about having a ghost baby. I know that sounds crazy. Yes, you're fucking right, it does. But I've been looking into it, and I don't think it's totally out of the question. Okay, let's break this down for a second. A ghost baby. In the same way I have questions about drugs for ghosts, ghost babies bring a whole new mess of questions to my brain. How will that work? Like, if you have a ghost baby... First of all, having a ghost baby implies ghost sex. And how does that work? I won't go too into detail because that'll get very graphic. But having a ghost baby implies having ghost sex. And you can't touch a ghost. And a ghost can't touch you. So how the fuck is that even possible? Is it just a lot of foreplay? I don't know. And with a ghost baby... Again, how does that work? if you're a woman and you fuck a ghost and you have a ghost baby inside you for some reason, somehow, some manner of way, you have a ghost baby inside you. Do you have a baby bump and just nothing, and just an invisible baby, like vapor baby inside? Or do you not have a baby bump, but like your baby bump is transparent? Does that make sense? I think I'm making sense to myself. I just hope it's coming across what these questions are. And also, so let's say you are carrying this ghost baby and there's a visible baby bump. When you go to get sonogrammed, do they see anything? Does the doctor or the nurse see anything? Or is it just an empty uterus? And what if you go to the hospital because like you're going into labor and you're pushing and the ghost baby comes out and the doctor's like waiting at the end of the vagina, waiting to catch the baby, and just like poof, nothing happens. Nothing comes out, but there's a noticeable decrease in the baby bump size. Something came out, but he's just like, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Or when you give birth to the ghost baby, does it just phase out of you? And then it's just kind of floating by itself? And do you need to hold a ghost baby, or does it instinctively know how to fly? Again, hundreds of questions have popped into my mind regarding this shit, and she doesn't seem to be wanting to tell us anything about this. She says, I'm sure there's a way around the logistics of having a child with a ghost. She just hasn't worked it out yet. You gotta work it out. If you're so dead set on having a ghost baby, you gotta know the details really fucking fast. Because Ray's not gonna be around forever. Ray's getting old. Ray might find a ghost chick that he, like an Australian ghost chick that he might like. If you want a ghost baby with this guy, you gotta do your research and look into the rabbit holes of dark Google to figure out if that's even fucking possible, which clearly it is not, because there's too many questions and she doesn't seem to know any of these answers. Oh, this poor woman. I felt a little bit bad at the beginning. I don't feel bad anymore. I'm glad I'm laughing at her. This is fucking insane. Anyways, so if you happen, please write into the podcast if you happen to be in love with a ghost and want to have a ghost baby and you know the answers to my questions, because I would love to get some solid fucking answers on this. Too many variables. Anyways, speaking of things that I don't understand but would love to learn more about, Glasgow Clyde College is offering the UK's first Batman study course. Whoa. I think I've mentioned this a few times. I love superheroes. I love everything comic books, superhero, Marvel, DC, supervillains, love it all. I especially love Batman. Batman is my shit. The course in Batman Studies is being offered by Glasgow Clyde College and begins October 20th for 8 weeks of an in-depth study of the Caped Crusader and his world. It'll take you to the very beginnings of DC Comics in 1939, right the way up until the newest Batman incarnation, which has been spotted filming in Liverpool recently. Oh, they're referring to Robert Pattinson's new Batman film, which is still filming, which I'm kind of excited about. Let's see. I'm sure this dude, there's a picture of this dude. He's standing next to a Batman poster. He's wearing a Batman hat, Batman mask, Batman shirt. I'm sure he means well. I'm 100% sure I know more about Batman than he does, though, because I'm just that arrogant, and I know I'm right. Let's see. Glasgow College's History of the Batman is just one of 25 courses being offered by the college as part of their Love to Learn program across 3 campuses. It'll cost you £50 to take part, and we will, as mentioned, run for 8 weeks starting from next Tuesday. You can sign up for the course here. Wait a minute. What? Hold on. Can I take it? It's online. That's right, because of COVID. It's online. History of the Batman. Online. £50. It starts October 20th. Distance. What? Can I do this? Is this a legitimate thing? Inquire. I'm going to actually send them a message. I'm going to send them a message and see if I can do this. It's 50 pounds. What's that, like $60 American? I don't care. For an 8-week Batman course that I can actually probably like ace the fuck out of this course, or I can like see if I'm smarter than the professor. That's really all I want in life. To take one class where I know I'm smarter than the guy teaching it. Hold on, I'm going to write. You're going to listen to me as I write this message. Hello. My name, oops, I misspelled name, is Donald MacPhail. I am currently a graduate student pursuing a Master of Arts degree in psychological research. Sorry if I'm sounding like a fucking robot. I'm just typing as I talk because this is not good quality for content for a podcast, but oh well. I'm going with the moment because I really want to see if I can get into this program. It's only 8 weeks, it's $60. Fuck it. It's about Batman. Literally. It's just about Batman. I'm really excited about it. Sorry. Fuck you if you think I'm a nerd. Currently a graduate student pursuing a Master of Arts degree in psychological research at Texas State University. Even though I reside in the States, I am a massive Batman fan and saw that this course on the history of Batman through an online article. Is this course open to students outside the UK? Thank you very fucking much. No, I didn't put fucking, but that's funny. Bro, this would be, if they say yes, I'm going to shit myself. Literally going to fucking shit myself if they say, sure, Americans are welcome. You can absolutely take this Batman course. I will literally not shut up. I will gloat to my parents that I'm registered for a Batman course. Anyways, let's move on from that. But I will keep you all updated. For the one person who listens to this podcast, I will let you know, probably by next episode, if I'm going to get in, if they said yes or no. Anyways, moving on. So with quarantine, and I was sick a few weeks ago, and I completely fucked up my eating habits. I got really back into ramen in a big fucking way. I love ramen so much. I've always loved ramen, but I stopped eating it because of sodium, and I have high blood pressure and all that jazz. But I got back into top ramen, and I love it so fucking much. I can literally eat it for every meal, even though it's probably not the healthiest thing. But my love of ramen may have been a sign from God. My falling back in love with ramen may have been a sign from God. Because Top Ramen is offering $10,000 for a chief noodle officer. What? The makers of Top Ramen announced they are seeking a chief noodle officer to get paid $10,000 to help develop and test ramen noodle soup recipes. Top Ramen manufacturer Nissan, announced it is seeking a chief noodle officer with a passion for noodles to help test out new Top Ramen recipes for the company. Fucking what? Interested candidates are being instructed to post photos and recipes of their own Top Ramen creations to social media, and the winner will be selected by celebrity judge Melissa King, of recent winner of Top Chef All Stars LA. I don't know who the fuck that is. The winner will receive $10,000, the chance for a one-on-one mentorship with Nissan CEO Mike Price, and a 50-year supply of various Top Ramen products. What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? I would never have to go to the grocery store again. If they give me a 50-year supply of top ramen products, 50 years? This can't be a legitimate thing. It is a legitimate thing. Submissions are being accepted through my birthday, October 30th. It didn't say my birthday. I just added that in. My birthday is October 30th, though. Hint, hint. I'm going to do this, too. This is a fascinating episode so far. I'm going to see if I can get into a Batman course, and I'm going to try to become a chief noodle officer. Fuck. This is a very good... This is a very... what's it called? Productive episode compared to the other ones I've recorded. Damn. I'm going to do this, too. I gotta expand my resume, you know? I gotta put on my resume that I've taken a course in Batman. And I have to put on my resume that I was a chief noodle officer for Top Ramen. It's gotta go on there. At least I gotta attempt it. I would hate myself forever if I didn't try to take a Batman course from a college in the UK and I didn't try to become chief noodle officer. I'd hate myself for years to come. I'm doing both. I've already sent the email. I'm going to figure out a top ramen recipe and post it on social media and then see where we go from there. Anyways, you know, it's weird to say just because I know, like, I've talked about how I don't do well with women in general. But even though I know that the chances of me, like, finding a girlfriend, getting married are very low, I think I could actually make a pretty good dad just because I like kids. Like, my jobs I've had for the past, like, 5 years have all been working with kids, and I relate to kids just because I have the sense of humor of a 5-year-old, and that makes kids like you. If you can be funny for a 5-year-old, kids will like you. They'll think you're hilarious. You'll be their favorite person. And kids are just blatantly honest, and I appreciate that. Kids don't beat around the bush or like lie to you about something. If you are wearing something that's stupid or you say something that's stupid, kids will make fun of you, and that's just refreshing. So the Huffington Post did a nice little article about kids say the darndest things. It's parents reveal the funniest names their kids give everyday things. And this is always fascinating because like when kids' minds are developing, they just say shit because they don't know like the true words or like true phrases associated with certain things or actions or whatever. So they just say, they create their own phrases to describe what they're seeing or what they're doing. It's fascinating. I fucking love this kind of shit. Like, detergent is laundry sauce. That's genius. Kids are actually like little Einsteins. Little Einsteins. Kids are like geniuses, and we don't appreciate them enough. My son calls grated Parmesan cheese spaghetti sprinkles. Again, fucking amazing. My 5-year-old calls aprons baking capes. Again, genius. These kids need like fucking scholarships already. They need to be offered scholarships. Fuck these kids that are like a 7-year-old like who can catch passes and run routes on football. These are the kids who need to be offering full ride scholarships to universities. My 6-year-old claims her 8-year-old brother is giving her migrating headaches. That's not that good. When my son was 7 or 8, he asked me, why do I always see signs that say penny saliva everywhere? I had no idea what he was talking about until he pointed one out to me. We live in Pennsylvania. See, that's genius. The way a kid's mind works just is fascinating, which makes me understand. Like, that's why I don't do developmental psychology, because kids are so radically different from each other. They think it's so hard. To me, in my perspective, it's so hard for an adult to try to figure out what a kid is trying to say or how a kid's mind works. That's why I will never do developmental psychology. I'll leave that to other people. I know I can't do it because my brain is already like getting rigid, and my mind it's funny, but like I don't understand how they get to these things. I don't understand how kids' minds work till they can come up with these things. Like, detergent is laundry sauce. It makes so much sense, but like, how does a kid get there? My 3.5-year-old started calling watches time bracelets. Again, I'm going to start calling them time bracelets. I love time bracelets. My kids call the washing machine the wetter, as in the opposite of the dryer. What? This is... I love this so much. I'm going to favorite this so I can look at this every day to cheer myself up. My daughter loved salad when she was little. Every time we went to a restaurant, she'd order leaves and dip. Oh, I love this so much. This is why kids are great. I don't understand people who don't like kids. Kids are geniuses and they're funny. And they are blatantly honest. I guess that's why people don't like kids. Because kids are blatantly honest. And they just tell it how they see it. I still call Chick-fil-A Chick-O-Lay because my grandson used to call it that. That's not that funny. That's kind of funny, though. My daughter called the Statue of Liberty the Queen of Starbucks. Yes. Literally. See, when kids say this shit, it expands my mind. It, like, opens my third eye. And, like, they're right. The Queen of Starbucks. If you were to put the picture of Statue of Liberty and the Starbucks lady next to each other, they look exactly the same. Oh my god. I'm crying so hard right now. My son asked if people kiss under the camel toe. Oh, mistletoe. My 4-year-old calls her bikini her zucchini. Makes sense. Both my children were in tears upon discovering Grand Rapids, Michigan, was not full of enormous bunnies. Grand Rabbits was how they've been pronouncing it. I'd be upset too. Grand Rabbits sounds a lot more fun than Grand Rapids. My oldest daughter used to call the FedEx truck the fat ass truck. We are a hockey family. My son and daughter used to call the national anthem the hockey song. Makes sense, actually. My daughter said arts and crafts. That's funny. Damn it. This isn't... I don't think these are supposed to be this funny, but it's really making me happy. My daughter used to call school buses bumblebee trucks. My son calls a plunger a dookie puncher, and a popsicle an ice pickle. I fucking love this so much. My kids call Toys R Us Toys for Us. Yeah, that makes sense. That's actually not funny. That's just smart. Toys for Us, because they're kids. Toys are us. Toys for Us. My 4-year-old calls his peanuts his peach. I don't understand that one. Underground town is what my daughter called cemeteries, and fooders were waitresses. My son called the Statue of Liberty the Statue Delivery. I asked why. He said she delivers things. Yep. My niece was about 3 when I got married to my husband, Josh. She couldn't say Joss, so it sounded more like Uncle Sauce. We took the kids stargazing a few weeks ago, and my 7-year-old was so excited to try the Skeletope. My daughter calls Jeep Wranglers beach trucks. That is genius. Beach trucks. That's literally what Jeep Wranglers are. That makes so much sense, though. One of my boys called the cup holder in the car a door bowl. Oh, God. Every store is Target, but definitely... Every store is Target, but... What? Every store is Target, but defined by its color. Red Target, orange Target, gray Target. Oh, I get it. Red Target is Target, orange Target is Home Depot, gray Target is Costco. That was pretty good. Our 6-year-old thinks we keep our food in the pine tree pantry, not to be confused with the huge evergreen right outside our kitchen door. My son just said my dad's dog is not apologetic. He meant hypoallergenic. See, this is just fun. These are things that... This is what I like. That's genuine comedy. Again, when people say they don't like kids, I need them to read this fucking list. Because if you don't like kids after the end of reading this list, You don't got a heart. All right. I think we have time for one more article, even though the last one wasn't technically an article, but whatever. One more news story. California woman dreamed about eating in her engagement ring and woke up to find she really did do it. I popped that sucker off, put it in my mouth, and swallowed it with a glass of water. Jenna Evans wrote in a Facebook post about the ordeal. Oh, Facebook. Of course. Yes, that's not something you post on Instagram or Twitter. That's definitely something for Facebook. You eating your engagement ring and then inferring that you shitted it back out. On Tuesday, Jenna Evans was on a high-speed train that was racing down the tracks, her fiancé by her side when some bad guys appeared, she said. Is she insane? Oh, this is a dream. Never mind. Sorry, that was really mean. There was only one way to protect her 2.4 carat diamond engagement ring. Swallow it. So that's what Evans did. I popped that sucker off, put it in my mouth, and swallowed it with a glass of water, Evans said in a Facebook post. Then she woke up. It's very good writing so far, actually. Whoever wrote this article really knows how to paint a picture. Evans was relieved on Wednesday morning that the whole episode had just been a vivid, bizarre dream that she told Today. This went on Today? Don't they have better things to talk about than this fucking lunatic? Was very James Bond. That is, until she realized her engagement ring was no longer on her finger. I could have told you that. Evans, who has a history of sleepwalking. Sleepwalking, does that just encompass everything you do while you sleep? Or is sleep, as in sleep eating, like a separate thing? Anyways, soon realized that while the bad guys in the high-speed train had all been her snoozing subconscious, the consumption of her engagement ring was not. When I woke up in the morning, there was no ring on my finger. I couldn't help but laugh at it, and then I had to wake up my fiancé and tell him I had swallowed my engagement ring. Why would you laugh at it? You clearly are a little bit unhinged if you just openly swallow a fucking ring. Like, I don't know, like, if I'm sleepwalking and I put something, a fucking piece of metal and a diamond in my mouth and I swallow it, I'm sure I'd wake up. I wouldn't just go, oh well, back to bed. Evan said on Facebook she had to Google if adults often swallow rings. I'm going to tell you, gut instinct. The answer she found on Google was no. That, again, me personally, gut instinct. If I were to Google, do adults swallow rings? Google would pop up an answer, and Google would say, no, you fucking idiot. Babies do that. It turns out children more commonly do it. Of course. Why Google that? That's such a 21st century thing to do. Oh my god, I swallowed something. Do adults do this? No, you're just fucking stupid. Evans went to an urgent care clinic where doctors decided against letting the ring pass naturally through the 29-year-old system and instead referred her to her gastroenterologist. Yeah, that would kind of put a very bad vibe or omen on the future marriage. If you shitted your engagement ring out and had to dig through your own shit to get it and then put it back on your finger, that would be a very bad omen. I respect those doctors that said, you know what? Let's not dig through your shit to find this ring, and let's avoid the potential catastrophic injury that could happen on your small intestines, large intestines, and butthole if we let you pass a fucking diamond out your butt. A gastroenterologist promptly performed an upper endoscopy, which is an insertion of a small camera and device down someone's throat. Damn, they went the long way. Well, yeah, I guess that's better than cutting her open. Evans wrote that she began to cry as she signed the release forms for the upper endoscopy, fearing she would die during the procedure and not get to fulfill a different dream, marrying her fiancé, Bobby Howell. Hold on. Did they explain to her what an upper endoscopy was? They're not cutting her open. There's no, invasive procedure. They're not even going up her butt. why did she think she was going to die? Did she... I don't even think they put her... Well, they might have put her under, because I would freak out too if something was shoving down my throat. It's one thing to freak out about dying if they're like cutting you open, but if they're just shoving a camera and a little device down your throat, I don't think you die. You may, like, your breathing might be a little off, but I'm sure they had something to like help that. But anyways, she's probably still asleep, to be honest. I waited a long time for that damn engagement ring, and I will marry Bobby Howell, damn it. So you're very aggressive. I would take this as a warning sign, Bobby. If she's this hell-bent on marrying you and thinking she's going to die, but she's like, I'm going to survive. She swallowed a ring in her sleep. This is just a tip of the iceberg of crazy, Bobby. Take this as a warning. Doctors found the engagement ring in Evan's intestines just beyond her stomach. Evan said her fiancé returned the ring to her on Thursday. Why did he have the ring? Hold on. Didn't they just give her the ring afterwards? Why did the fiancé have it? I'm confused. Bobby finally gave me back my ring this morning. I promise not to swallow again. We're still getting married and it's all right in the world. You can't honestly promise that. You cannot honestly promise that you're not going to swallow it again. Because you've already done it. Barring any further snacking, Evans and Howell plan to get married in May of 2020. Wait, when was this article fucking posted? Oh, this was not 2019. September 2019, before quarantine. Oh. Well. Obviously, I'm pretty sure their plans for the ceremony went out the fucking window if this was written in September 2019, because obviously shit hit the fan. So she may not have eaten her ring again, but something else happened. So probably they're not married as of now. I'm so grateful that everyone can laugh about it because it truly is a funny story. It's a decent story. It's not funny. Rather than a funny story, it's more of a warning to Bobby that you're a little bit off. She got crazy eyes. Y'all can't see this, but she got crazy eyes in this picture I'm seeing. Yeah. Good luck, Bobby. All right. And that will do it for this episode of the Just Fine podcast, the whole damn good news edition. Again, I wanted to kind of take a break, stop from talking all about my life, give y'all, the two people who listen to this, a little bit of a break, and just talk about like interesting, funny news stories, because there's so much shit in the world going on currently. That's a nice little sidebar. And I will be pursuing this Batman course at this college, and then applying for this chief noodle officer. So I will update y'all on how those progress and develop on probably next week's episode. So we'll see. But yeah, again, if you like this episode, I probably will do more strictly damn good news episodes, future episodes, just because this was a good vibe. I liked how this episode flowed. But tell your friends, share this with people that you think would like it. Like, rate, subscribe, whatever it is you do on YouTube. If you do that on any other platforms, again, the podcast is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube. But yeah, there's a website, there's social media. You can follow that if you want. I don't post on them all that often, but I will hopefully at some point. But yeah, alrighty. I hope you have a just fine weekend. Thanks for listening.